Red 2 standing by, all for lit, and in the green. Welcome back to Pokemon Emerald version, where we are traversing Granite Cave. We are just about to deliver the letter to Steven, but of course we're running into wild Pokemon. I have been doing a little bit of training en route because I've been trying to get some more experience into Gemma and then Arbon. I think we're going to be changing up our team as we go because unfortunately, Turner isn't going to be too much use beyond this as his stats start to fall off. And we do need a very capable Pokemon for dealing with Watson. I do have Captain Toad, and Leech Seed's going to come in very handy. Oh, I will take Iron Defense on the other hand. Iron Defense can actually be comboed into Takedown or Double Edge in a Pokemon contest in these games. I believe it may be the case in later games as well. But Gemma is level 17. Arbon is the Pokemon we want to be working on pretty soon. But if I get some really good mileage into Captain Toad, we'll have a fighting type to handle Watson. And here we are. My name is Steven. I'm interested in rare stones, so I travel here and there. Oh, a letter for me. We delivered the letter, the sooner the better. Okay, thank you. You went through all this trouble to deliver that. I need to thank you. Let me see. I'll give you this TM. It contains my favorite move, Steel Wing. Pretty handy for flying types with good attack. Your Pokemon appear quite capable. If you keep training, you could even become the champion of the Pokemon League one day. That's what I think. I know. Since we've gotten to know each other, let's register one another in our Pokénavs. Oh, now I've got to hurry along. Wonder what he's up to, and wrong thing. Pokénav. Our match call, we have Hard as Rock, Steven. The Big Hit, Brawly, Fisherman, Elliot. It's interesting that they mentioned that. Probably should have gone Hard as Steel. But Steven does have a bit of an interest in rock types as well. And his team is fairly diversified. Oh well, we might as well knock out Makuhita before we get going. Arbon can probably do with a bit more experience. Hack away with Fury Swipes. Unfortunately, the fact that Arbon has a bold nature is kind of going against him. Because the problem is that's cutting physical attack. I probably should have wound up getting another Nincada, really. Because Shedinja doesn't need defense. It's perhaps the most pointless nature for it. I think pretty much any nature that doesn't buff its attack is pointless. Shedinja is not very fast anyway. I'm committing to the bit. I am using new Pokemon. So I really should stick at it. I really do need to actually commit and try something new because that's really the entire principle of the run, to actually take on some new Pokemon and give them a try. So, I mean, could I take Dustox all the way? Could I? I mean, I'm prepared to use Delcatty, and Delcatty is terrible. Does Normalize still exist in this generation? I'm going to have a look. Or is it Generation 4 only? I'm really a bit stuck on that one. Alrighty, come on team. Let's get going. I'd probably better do some serious level grinding. Now, question, should I go? I probably should wind up going back. Now, there's a question. Should I go back to Roxanne and talk to her? I should probably see what I can do back around the Petalburg area. Genuinely curious. I mean, it's kind of distracting everything. I might not be able to duck back there. Well, let's talk to Mr. Brody. Ahoy! For you, I'll go out to sea any time. Now, my friend, where are we bound? Okay, let's go to Petalburg. Petalburg, is it? Anchors away! Pico, we're setting sail, my darling! Alrighty, we're here. So, if I talk to person here... Alright, we do need to actually talk to people. Register them in the Pokénaps. Alright, I got a bit of running to do. Good thing I got my shoes. Oh, hello, Scarlet. This is Roxanne of Slateport City. I heard from Brawley that you're moving up through the ranks of trainers at an incredible clip. Well, I'd rather not think that I can't beat you. I promise I will shape up my gym so that you may challenge us again. I hope you'll be looking forward to that occasion as much as me. Alright, that saves me a bit of trouble. So we now have Rockin' Wiz Roxanne registered in there. Steven really should have been hard as steel as far as I'm concerned, because he is meant to be a steel-type specialist. And he does have very capable steel-type Pokemon. So, we don't quite get the rematches just yet. That usually unlocks, I think, after we wind up getting Surf and beating our dad. But that's going to be a while. And there we go. We've got pretty much everyone registered except someone I needed Cut to get to, and I'm not quite stuffing around teaching Pokemon Cut when they don't need it. Maybe Nuzleaf might be able to learn it, but we've got plenty of trainers out here. We are set. I much prefer the abandoned ship over Seymourville and everything they did with that. Ahoy! We've made land in Slateport. I suppose you're going to visit Captain Stern and deliver the Devon goods? There we are. We have the goods. It's time to deliver them. So, they're building sandcastles and we get the soft sand. And we've got trainers to battle on the beach as well. So, we might as well spend some time battling trainers and getting experience into Arbon, because I've left a spare spot in my party. Wingull. Wingull doesn't have great defense, but we don't have great moves. Yeah, this thing, I mean, Nincada's attack seems pretty terrible to begin with. Well, at least I'm not going to hurt myself very much. But yeah, training Nincada without outside assistance, it's a chore and a half. Because so much experience. The erratic... It doesn't help that we keep losing coin flips, but the erratic... Do you know any other moves besides Growl and Supersonic? Why are these trainers so dumb? There, that's what you get. And almost immediately I'm proven wrong. That is what you call a pain. It is a very big pain. I kind of forgot it was a water type. And it's doing exactly half, and I know full well that Wingull isn't going to low roll. Switch into Captain Toad. I don't know if the damage calculations... Well, I presume they're the same for the AI, but I just don't have any faith in the AI low rolling. For all I know, that water gun might have been a low roll. There are little variations along the way. I need to... Alright, that's nice. So, we drop a Leech Seed. And then I can switch back to Arbor. Hopefully it doesn't know Seismic Toss. Doesn't know Focus Energy. Because I really, really want to actually get Shedinja as soon as possible, because that actually makes a lot of things rather easy. Because if Pokemon don't have the right moves, they can't hurt Shedinja. Which is very good. I'm extremely pleased about that. It will make things a little bit difficult. We probably will have to just grind our way through a few battles. But I'm confident in Shedinja. Of course, given that this is kind of a challenge run, we'll see what happens. And if I don't do very much damage here, Leech Seed will back it up and heal me. Because we keep running into fighting types, and Leech Life is really not good against fighting types. It's interesting that Bug and Fighting are mutually resistant. I wonder if... are there any other pairs like that? Let's... Probably not, now that I think about it. I mean, there might be something. I'll have to look it up. And there we go. So, who else have we got to battle? Mostly sailors! There is a man who's about to vomit. I wonder what he's eaten. Well, we definitely stay away from whatever they're cooking up on the... It's another damn Wingull. I'm sorry, I want to actually level up my Nincada. I mean, I know it's really fiddly and it takes a long time, but the very least you could actually do is give me a Pokemon that doesn't beat its ass into submission. Which sounds really wrong now that I say about it. I don't know what my Nincada is into, but I certainly don't think it's being beaten up by seagulls. Nincada is not a chip. It's like the worst possible matchup. It's because Bug ground up against Water Flying. It just doesn't end well. Wingulls, in these games, Wingulls unfortunately wind up joining Tentacool as the Zubat of the sea. Wingull is also faster than Tentacool, but it still knows Supersonic. It's still annoying. I will leave this man to puke. And I will... accidentally try and... No fair! How dare you! I just wanted the... That's not fair. That's unjustified bait. Or something. Fortunately, I should be able to take care of these. I probably should have Captain Toad on the job. Now, Azurill is only normal type in these games. Which... there's something interesting that I hadn't quite noted. Some people have mentioned that Azurill is probably a normal type because it's not a very good swimmer. And that kind of makes sense. It becomes normal fairy in Gen 6 when the Marill line wound up becoming part fairy. Water fairy is apparently a pretty good type combination. Lots of Tentacool, which is at least good experience, and I can slowly get my health back by using Leech Life. Oh, that's good. That's something. Bubble hits both of us, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It's like the strategies involved in double battles can be really, really good. And it's kind of sad that the only actual main series game that genuinely focuses on the intricacies of double battles and how everything works together is Pokemon Colosseum. it's a little unfortunate. I really do wish they did a bit more with things like that. Because honestly, now if I get this right, they'll send their Pokemon out straight away, and then I've got more health to restore with Arbin. But yeah, there were some really, really good strategies. And to be honest, Colosseum was probably kind of hard. But the fact it required you to really think about the Pokemon you were using, to force you into using Pokemon you hadn't used very often, that was a really good approach. I honestly like that. I honestly wish they'd do more games like Colosseum, where you seriously have to think about what you're doing. Because the game is effectively giving you a challenge run. Yes, I'd argue that the Colosseum probably hasn't aged that well. It's not that good in some respects, because you've only got that limited handful of Pokemon that can hamper replayability. It can be very challenging, but it's a seriously good game if you want to test your skills to sharpen up your knowledge. Things like that. I'm just dragging it out so that I can talk a little bit and actually get some health back for Arbin. Sorry about that, but yeah, I would love to see another game like Colosseum. I would love to see another game like Pokemon Conquest, because I think Pokemon games have sort of been a victim of their own success. Because games like this, where it was a bit easier to develop and you had more time, everything's on strict deadlines, you've got to have everything released at specific times and blah blah blah, which can make life very difficult. Now, there are plenty of things that Game Freak could do in order to improve. I'm not going to lie about that. There are plenty of improvements that could be done, but at the same... I don't know what it is that everything's sort of... I don't think the modern entries are quite as strong, but I would definitely say that there are still positives. I do like plenty of aspects of the newer entries. I'm probably not as enamored of X and Y, but I love the original Sun and Moon, because those games are surprisingly mature in their content. You've got some really interesting approaches in them. I honestly like those. It's because of how sort of coldly realistic... Oh yeah, I was wondering if this one knew Surf or not. What do I do? Do I go in for a Fury Swipes? Do I gamble? We gamble. We actually won. Nice, now I need to run off to the Pokemon Center. But yeah, there were some good challenges in there. As I said, I do prefer the original Sun and Moon, because I honestly do think that classic well-intentioned extremist trope has been done to death. It's like, oh, Lucamine's actually a really good person. They just didn't wind up taking out some of her more sinister moments from the original games. They kind of fumbled the presentation. I preferred it in the original. I admit that the original game probably could have done a bit more to give us a history of Lucamine actually being a kind person and really show just how much damage Nihilego can do to people. That would have been pretty cool. But I still like the much more realistic villains. Even if Team Skull was very comical, they weren't too far off reality. They really weren't sort of that far off what can happen to a lot of people who don't fit into the parameters of society. How many people essentially are trapped in what is effectively generational poverty, because society doesn't deem them worthy of being helped. There are lots of questions, like when you see people who are trapped in homelessness and things like that, when you see kids from quote-unquote bad families continuing to have problems, the ultimate question behind that is, what are the factors keeping people trapped in generational poverty? And you have to consider things like that. It's like, okay, socioeconomic group X has higher instances of poverty, crime or something. What are the defining factors that have caused that? Is it a legacy of previous policies? The impact of colonialism, the stolen generations, and many other utterly arrogant approaches to Indigenous Australians still affect them today. A lot of people who don't fit into those parameters of society can easily get stuck in the traps of generational poverty, and there's nothing you can do about it without some sort of major restructuring of society, which, quite frankly, isn't going to happen. And it's very, very frustrating because I don't really fit into modern society. That sort of workaday world, 9 to 5, interact with people. I believe that there is more to life than just work for a living. Well, not even for a living sometimes. Work to subsist. Work because you are required to work. Because your labour is needed to make somebody else richer. I think we have more to give as humans than that. And I am not good with people. It is worth noting that we probably all have social batteries of varying capacities. And I am expected, as somebody in the world of work, to go through an entire week of dealing with people. But my people allocation is usually burned up by lunchtime on Monday, and that's at the absolute best. I've sort of lost where I was going with all this, in all fairness. But yeah, no, I do sort of remember everything with Team Skull. Like, Team Skull's a perfect example of how those who don't fit into society can easily get shunned. Like, they're just dismissed as losers and nobodies and considered a joke. But what if their aptitude lay somewhere else? Are they just useless because they're not good at Pokemon battles? Is that what their fate is destined to be? There are so many good questions around everything that happens in Sun and Moon. There's so much you can actually read from that, and I do think that they're one of the stronger Pokemon games. That there are some things that do wind up mirroring real life, and the fact they nailed that, and the fact that people were complaining about that, probably just reinforces A, a lot of people don't have fantastic media literacy, and B, the stereotype that no matter what you do, Pokemon fans refuse to read. Well, yeah, it's been a rough week. It's been a very rough week as far as work has gone. I suppose it's in a way appropriate that I'm putting in a heck of an effort with a bug type, because I do not want to hear anything to do with termites ever again. Good lord, the people wrangling I've had to do. It's unbelievable. I'm not going into it because it will frustrate me, but it has been a time. It has been very, very stressful, and I unfortunately don't have the ability to just step back and recharge. Not easily. Like, I can't just say I'm really, really struggling. I need a good amount of time away, because unfortunately, we just don't necessarily have the provisions for that. Like, I don't like letting people down. I want to do a good job. But there's only so much I can do. I think there's a lot that needs to improve. Maybe I'm just dreaming. Fine, I get it. You don't want me to use Nincada. It's such a chore. I mean, we've got that far to go. Alright, Captain. Take care of this and then we can wrap up the episode once I get the soda pop. Zoob out of the sea, everybody. Zoob out of the sea. I am very clearly being punished for my ranting. The gods have sent irritation. It will not be a significant issue. My Pokemon can take care of this very easily. But irritation will continue to plague me. And bad RNG. Alright, come on. All I needed was that one. The Wingull line doesn't have great special defense. Pelipper's a lot slower, but it's got great defense. So yeah, I need a lot of work into Arbor. Now, does this have Liquid Ooze? One way to find out. I really am just losing all the luck rolls. Most of them seem to have Clear Body, which is really good. Alright, well I might be able to keep up. Might be able to keep up the draining. I will use my antidote after the battle. Come on. Yeah, I was doing some research for the previous episodes, and it is actually really, really weird that for some reason Grimer and Muck can't have Liquid Ooze as an ability. Like, they are literally based on water pollution. It doesn't seem to make sense for them to not have that ability. But yeah, they're just sort of, they wind up with Stench, and Stench makes sense because that pops up in their Pokedex entries. They can get Stench, they can get, I believe they can get Sticky Hold. Like, Alolan Muck gets Poison Touch, which is really good because it actually winds up giving them a 20% chance to poison, independent of the move's current chance to poison, whatever that may be. Which is really good. So, I believe Seismitoad can get that ability as well. So, there we go. We wind up healing a poisoned... It's a poison mushroom! Why didn't I see that earlier? We have 7 antidotes because Zigzagoon kept finding them. I think we're going okay, but we can go back into Slateport after getting some Soda Pop, which was also the title of a song on the soundtrack album for Pokemon the first movie. Anyway, back to the Pokemon Center, and then we can do things in Slateport. Thank you very much for joining me. Till next time, this is Red 2, returning to base. Poochyena, the bite Pokemon. It is obsessed with digital technology. It works with bits and bytes and is actually extremely skilled at programming, but it always runs away because it gets embarrassed at people talking about its skills. Zigzagoon, the tiny raccoon Pokemon. Zigzagoon is known to do very strange things which don't always seem particularly intelligent. This is said to be where the saying zigging when one should be zagging comes from. Wurmple, the worm Pokemon. Being well aware of various human sayings, all Wurmple are known to sleep in until the middle of the day. As a result, their clocks generally do not have any need of a 24-hour function. They have so far avoided being eaten, but you never know, birds might wind up getting clever. Silcoon, the cocoon Pokemon. Unraveling its body in order to make clothing out of its silk is considered extremely dangerous. You can try it, and you will get a fantastic garment out of it, but you are likely to wind up getting badly poisoned as a result. Beautifly, the butterfly Pokemon. Beautifly may look beautiful, but it is well known for committing large and dangerous crime sprees, because as we all know, nobody ever suspects the butterfly.